This is Charleston's retirement coach, Brandon Bowen.
And I'm Heather Branch here with Brandon, asking for his ideas on ways to better prepare for your financial future. Bowenwealth.com is where you can go to start the conversation with Brandon and his team about your retirement plan. We also have links posted in the show notes, so you can just click there, or again, find us at bowenwealth.com. So whether or not, if you're a big basketball fan, you have probably heard in the news recently, because everybody's been talking about the passing of Bill Walton.
Mm-hmm.
Big name in the world of basketball. He is a Hall of Famer. He led his teams in 2 different cities to NBA championships with Portland and also in Boston. So he recently died from cancer I appreciate that we live in a world now where it's like 71 years old, so young, so sad to hear that.
Mm-hmm.
So he had a battle with cancer and he passed. It's interesting because we actually several years back had the chance to talk with Bill, and it got into a conversation about the idea, Brandon, of legacy and family, and that was the nature of the conversation. And Bill just suddenly started discussing his father, his late father, and how he felt that he had let his own dad down on 2 different occasions. And this is what Bill had to say about it.
When we started having children, I'm William Theodore Walton III. My dad is the second. He never asked for anything. But then one day my dad said, hey, you're having children. Would you please name one of them William Theodore Walton IV? And I wasn't smart enough. I wasn't mature enough to know how serious that ask was. So I let him down that time. And then at the end of his life, I was in charge, and he was going downhill, and he was in and out of the hospital all the time. And then one day he looked at me and reached out his hand, and he said, Bill, I don't want to die in the hospital. I want to die at home here. Passed away in the hospital. Yeah, and I was there for that too.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
How is he not getting emotional right there?
I know. He obviously had plenty of time to reflect and perhaps metabolize those moments in his life.
Yeah. Now, and I'm sure he honored his dad in so many other ways.
Yeah.
Right. And his dad was so proud of him and all that he achieved. But gosh, hearing those 2 things, we all just immediately think of our parents.
You do. You can't not.
Yes.
And I think it's interesting also, especially when you're in a situation where somebody has passed, it's easy to go to the regrets, right? Like the moments you're like, oh, I wish I'd done this, I wish I'd done that, versus reflecting on all the good things. Like you were saying, Bill obviously had a great relationship with his dad, and I'm sure there was many great things to reflect on, but you hang on to those regrets. That's the easy place to go to. So that's what I wanted to ask you about, the idea of, again, legacy planning, because this is an important part of the conversation you have with folks in the office about creating this retirement plan and the plan that's going to go on after we're no longer on this planet, and avoiding regrets, because when someone passes, you can't get that time back. So the idea for helping somebody to structure a plan so that wishes are carried out, and so that you don't have to worry about the surviving family members dealing with regrets and things of that nature. How does that work in the planning process?
Well, before I get serious, I want to offer a little something humorous. So what I want, I'm going to put it in my trust here. What I want at my funeral, here we go. Everyone must wear a Hawaiian shirt and sunglasses. We're
going to go out Jimmy Buffett style.
Yeah, Jimmy Buffett. Shorts, flip flop. If it's in the summertime and I pass, I want it to be a celebration of life. That kind of thing. So that is my, I guess, some of my final wishes there.
Yeah.
But yes, so back to this. You listening, I know everyone. You probably have some financial wishes that you want to make sure that maybe this money, whatever you might leave, okay, how is this money going to be spent? Okay.
Yeah.
Productively. You want it to be spent productively. You want to give a hand up, not a hand out.
Yes.
Right. And I would say, first off, well, have you told anybody what your wishes are? Okay. Right. A lot of people just, it's just something they've kept inside. So, have you told someone? Secondly, have you put it in writing? Okay. Is it in writing? So this week I had a long conversation. It's the wife of a client, and she reached out and she goes, I have a situation here I want to talk to you about. It's regarding my dad, her side of the family.
Yeah.
Their money, said dad is now 80 years old. And she is the responsible child of the three children.
Yeah.
This wife is here. So she was telling me, she goes, she works and she takes care of daddy's money. And so, daddy has appointed her to make these decisions, and, a lot of stuff's already in her name, but he does have a few things that are still in his name, some of the big amounts, right?
Got it. Okay.
And daddy wants to reward the grandkids, she was saying, his grandkids for finishing college.
Got it.
Is great. Yeah, like a 2-year, 4-year, whatever. But if you finish college, I want to reward you with, an equal share of this nest egg right here.
Okay. Yeah.
If you don't graduate, you get nothing.
Got it.
Is daddy's wishes.
Yep.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So that's great. So that is his wish there. He's fine. He's on his military pension, Social Security, all this stuff. He's fine. He's slowing down in life. Mm-hmm. And so he's like, I want this money. It's almost $500,000. I want this money to go to the 8 grandkids. Okay.
Wow. Yeah.
If they finish college. So the problem here with this scenario that I'm describing is he has only verbally told his 3 kids this.
Got it. Yeah.
He's only verbally told them, and the adult children here, from what I'm gathering, it's already a mess. Okay.
Really?
Already some unfortunate choices going on, where some of them are already wanting their children's money. Okay. Yeah. So like, we want the money now. We need the money now, this kind of thing. And also daddy is starting to slip a little bit mentally, and so there's just some concerning things coming on that I can foresee here with the family dynamic, right? And where the grandfather is starting to slip. And I said, okay, when we're done, when we hang up, I want you to immediately call your attorney. Do you have an attorney? And they said, yes. And I said, okay, daddy needs a trust in place. Okay. He needs a trust. And I said, in fact, I might even recommend an irrevocable trust.
Okay.
So that some of the other kids can't take dad to lunch and then to the lawyer and get him to change stuff.
Okay. Got it. Yeah.
So I said, talk to the attorney about that. Should it be revocable or irrevocable?
Okay.
But this needs to be in writing.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
This needs to be in place. And I told her, who I was talking to, I was like, you should want this because it's going to help you, because I can just see this. Because if you don't get it in a trust, it's going to go to probate, and I guarantee this thing's going to get drug out 2 years or more. Lawyer fees are going to be probably 10% of the estate.
Yep.
It's going to rip your family, if there's anything left holding them together, it's going to rip everybody apart.
Yep.
It's going to be the worst thing that I could think of. I was like, so you should want a trust so that nothing can be contested.
Right.
Okay.
Yep.
So that where daddy wanted it to go and how, and rewarding the grandkids and this stuff. And, that is going to happen. Okay. So all you're doing is you're just basically like a secretary.
Yeah.
If you're the trustee here and you're
just reading what's on the paper.
You're confined and restrained to only what daddy wanted. Right.
Got it. Yep.
So I said, yes, call them right now as soon as we hang up. And so then once they do that and get the trust in place, then we can start moving the money and we can start managing his money with that estate plan, or I should say that legacy plan in place.
Got it. Yeah.
And that's what we do here at Bowen Wealth. And I said, okay, here's some areas that we will address, that we will watch, with those goals in mind, is we want to look at, okay, make sure we pay attention to the step up in cost basis. Mm-hmm. Okay. So upon passing, when money passes as an inheritance, if it's, after taxed money, then we're able to step up to the current value, and all that gain is tax free. Okay. Mm-hmm. When you step up in cost basis. So that's really good. If he needs money, we want to try to find long-term capital gains right now. If we need to pull some of this money out for any care or whatever, but in death benefit strategies. So all of these things, your advisor should be working very, very closely with your attorneys. Okay.
Got it.
And where, we work together, I'm not an attorney, but I have a lot of things under my control as the financial advisor. Like I just said, with cost basis, and don't be trading and triggering taxes when maybe in a short order, those might be able to pass tax free. Right.
Yep.
So that's what I want you to hear, you listening. So thinking of that legacy plan, but also even here and now, do you have confidence to spend your money? Right. You might be thinking, okay, I want to pass on a certain amount to my kids or grandkids. Mm-hmm. And I don't want that to to kind of be handcuffs on you right now. I don't want that to limit your enjoyment.
You don't want that burden. You don't want that gift to be a burden on your happiness.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people do. I mean, who doesn't care for your kids or grandkids?
Of course.
And you might want to say, you might have a number that you want to pass to them, or you might say, okay, they can have what's left, kind of stuff. So whatever it is. So with our planning process, making sure you have enough money for you to enjoy.
Yeah.
But then we've got maybe a bucket set aside and allocated for the legacy plan. Okay. So that gives you permission to have fun with your other stuff.
Got it.
Okay.
Yep.
So having this plan in place allows you to spend with confidence now. Then when you have that trust in place, you can control the money from the grave. Okay. Mm-hmm. I've got some clients that say, hey, I want to match my kids' income. I don't want to give them all this money, and they turn around and turn into a trust fund kid.
Yeah.
Right. And maybe you might be thinking, hey, a lot of money to my kids, some of my kids might not be the best thing for them.
Right.
Right. So a trust will allow it to slowly pay out to them, maybe at a certain age. They don't get it till age 35.
Got it.
Right. Yeah. Or like I said, you match their income. So they got to keep working, and you're going to double their paycheck. That's really great.
That would be great. Yeah.
So you got to make sure that this money's not going to be harmful to them.
Right.
Okay. And that's what this trust can do. The trust is not going to pass away. The trust doesn't pass away. So the money's right there, and we allocate this money for them, but it's under your direction. And ultimately for your legacy. They're going to keep thinking of you, as this money keeps coming out. Okay. Mm-hmm. So I would love to join this conversation that you might be having in your head or with your family.
Yeah.
And get this legacy plan in place. So let me encourage you to head on over to bowenwealth.com and click on the contact tab so we can begin a conversation with you right now.
Thanks for listening to Charleston's Retirement Coach Podcast with Brandon Bowen. To learn more, visit bowenwealth.com and join Brandon for his radio show, Charleston's Retirement Coach, Saturdays at 11 a.m. on 94.3 WSC.
Financial professionals are not licensed in all 50 states. To find out if J. Brandon Bowen is licensed in your state, please call 843-203-2030. J. Brandon Bowen is an investment advisor representative of Bowen Wealth, LLC, a registered investment advisor. Exposure to ideas and financial vehicles discussed should not be considered investment advice or recommendation to buy or sell any financial vehicle. Past performance is not a guarantee of future results. Investments can fluctuate, and when redeemed may be worth more or less than when originally invested. J. Brandon Bowen is not affiliated with nor endorsed by the Social Security Administration or any other government agency and does not provide legal or tax advice. Annuity guarantees rely solely on the financial strength and claims paying ability of the issuing insurance company. By contacting us, you may be provided with information about insurance and annuity products offered through Bowen Wealth, LLC, insurance licensed in South Carolina. Market Guard is a registered investment advisor with the SEC and provides model portfolios only to Impact Partnership Wealth. Market Guard makes no implied warranties or representations and is not liable for any data presented.